A study in Proverbs, chapter 21, the desires of the sluggard. The king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the lamp of the wicked, are sin. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a snare of death. Violence of the wicked will sweep them away, because they refuse to do what is just. The way of the guilty is crooked, but the conduct of the pure is upright. It is better to live in a corner of the housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no mercy in his eyes. When a scoffer is punished, the simple becomes wise. When a wise man is instructed, he gains knowledge. The righteous one observes the house of the wicked. He throws the wicked down to ruin. Whoever closes his ear to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered. A gift in secret averts anger, and a concealed bribe, strong wrath. When justice is done, it is a joy to the righteous, but terror to evildoers. One who wanders from the way of good sense will rest in the assembly of the dead. Whoever loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. The wicked is a ransom for the righteous, and the traitor for the upright. It is better to live in a desert land than with a quarrelsome and fretful woman. Precious treasure and oil are in a wise man's dwelling, but a foolish man devours it. Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the stronghold in which they trust. Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Scoffer is the name of the arrogant, haughty man who acts with arrogant pride. The desire of the sluggard kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. All day long he craves and craves, but the righteous gives and does not hold back. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he brings it with evil intent? A false witness will perish, but the word of a man who hears will endure. A wicked man puts on a bold face, but the upright gives thought to his ways. No wisdom, no understanding, no counsel can avail against the Lord. The horse is made ready for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. Our proverb for the day is verse 25. The desire of the sluggard kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. A man once remarked about a laborer, "He's not afraid to work. He'll lay right down beside it and take a nap." A foreman once remarked of one of his workers, "I better drive a stake next to you before I go so I can tell if you've moved when I get back." There's perhaps little that is as frustrating for an employer or a boss than that of a lazy worker. We're not talking about being unskilled, but unmotivated shirkers. Solomon has much to say about the motivationally challenged individual in Proverbs, at times called slothful, at other times called a sluggard. Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24 tells us, "The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor." Chapter 12 and verse 27, "Whoever is slothful will not roast his gain, but the diligent man will get precious wealth." Chapter 13 and verse 4, "The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied." Proverbs 26 verses 13 through 16, "The sluggard says, 'There's a lion in the road, there's a lion in the streets.' As a door turns on its hinges, so does a sluggard on his bed. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, it wears him out to bring it back to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly." These sayings are as applicable in seemingly every generation, every age, every culture. The lazy, loafer, idle, indolent, and unmotivated. They stand in stark contrast to the hardworking, ambitious, industrious, diligent, energetic, let's get her done people. The slothful are undependable. The hardworking are trustworthy. The lazy cause friction when they force others to pick up the slack for what they won't do. The ambitious bring a spirit of camaraderie among their fellow workers. What is to be done? Earlier in Proverbs, Solomon presents one of the great treatises in work ethics. Going back to chapter 6, verses 6 through 11, we read, "Go to the ant, O sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man." Is this enough to stave off the lazy tendencies of the slothful? Time will tell. But for those who are contemplating a life of avoiding work, Solomon gives them plenty to think about. God has endowed the lowly ant with the ability to know they must work for their bread. So too must man. At the heart of this proverb is the realization that one is a master of their fate as it pertains to what they can achieve in life. It is not taking God out of the equation, for it is plain that we trust in God and we lay our plans before Him for His blessing. However, since the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, God told us that we will live by the sweat of our brow. Further, we might do well to read the parable of the talents. Ask yourself, how did the one with 5 talents and the one with 2 talents gain more? And then look and see what the one who hid his talent was called when he hid his. That's right, slothful. I wonder if it's time for a self-evaluation of my work ethics. Lord willing, we'll meet again tomorrow.